Welcome to the ACS Learning Center. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the flush solenoid valve that we use in the OPL laundry dispensers. A solenoid valve is actually considered an electromechanical device because it combines electricity with mechanical operations. The solenoid valves that we use are in a normally closed position. When current is energizing the solenoid, it creates a magnetic field. When a magnetic field occurs, it pulls a plunger up toward the coil, allowing the opening of water to pass through it. This is what a solenoid valve would look like for night. This is what the one DEMA uses. You'll notice that the bodies and the functions are basically the same. They use a different configuration in how they mount them and the mounting brackets. The component parts of the diaphragm, the bonnet, the spring, and the plunger are identical and are interchangeable between DEMA and night dispensers. The valve bodies contain a wide strainer. The wide strainer, just like in warewashing, catches debris, dirt particles, and it also can create scale deposits. Periodically, the screen should be removed and cleaned. When putting this back in, your best bet is to use some silicone around the threads. Brass will have a tendency to seize. If you put silicone around the threads when reinstalling, it makes it easier to remove next time you need to service it. Waterline connections. In all our more modern OPLs, the waterline connections are connected with a quick connects. When applying the water lines, your tubing should be cut square and pushed all the way up into the quick connect. When pushing the water lines in, always slightly tug down on it to make sure that it has snapped into place. So here's how a solenoid valve works. From the laundry dispenser, when the programming calls for it, it will energize the solenoid. When we energize the solenoid coils, it creates a magnetic field. This magnetic field will then pull the plunger up and allowing water to now flow through. When the electricity is removed, it releases the magnetic field and the spring on top of the plunger will push the plunger down and shutting off the water flow. The service points to a flush solenoid is the diaphragm, the plunger, the spring, and the bonnet. The biggest thing that goes wrong is a diaphragm. The diaphragm has a weep hole in it and water stays on top of it at all times. The diaphragm can get weak, torn, or cracked. This will not allow it to work properly. The other things that happens is the plunger and the spring. Because water is constantly up in the spring and on the plunger, it can corrode and prevent it from going up and down, opening and closing the diaphragm. When servicing this, insert the diaphragm. Make sure that it fits into the groove properly. From here, the plunger, the spring, and the bonnet mounts on top of it. The other service component is the solenoid itself. And again, this is an electrical device. To test to see whether the solenoid is working correctly, remove it from the bonnet, put a screwdriver up in the middle of it, and activate the flush. The screwdriver should be pulled to the side of the solenoid when activated. If it does not, solenoid is bad and replace it. Learn more about flush solenoid valves by talking to your manager, regional manager, or vice president, or contact the training center for more information.